This is the Louie Tee Network.
In the lab room. 5 minutes or less.
Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. 5 Minute or Less series, 2014 schedule release of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun games. They won this division last year in the AFC North. So if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you need to protect this house. You need to protect this division. And you got to win in the postseason. Let's talk about this 2014 schedule and start, of course, with primetime games. They've got 3 of them. So let's run down the list of these games. Week 10, Thursday Night Football, home for the Cleveland Browns. If you are the Cincinnati Bengals and you want to win this division, then you've got to beat your intrastate rival in the Cleveland Browns at home. Browns have been splitting with you over the last couple of seasons. You've been struggling in Cleveland, but this one is at home. You got to get it. It's on prime time. It's in the jungle. It's Thursday night. You need to win it. You move on to Sunday Night Football. This is a big one. This is a big one because we're talking about the revamped, reloaded, restocked, and ready to rock and roll New England Patriots in week 5. And you got to go to New England in week number 5. That is going to be a huge Monday night game, one that you need to get up for and go and take care of business. And I can't wait to see how you fare against this New England Patriots team on Monday Night Football, because that to me is a huge game with potentially playoff implications involved. And so I want to see how it is you handle New England on Monday Night Football. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch that one. Absolutely. Bart Scott. You move on to week number 16, Monday Night Football. You're at home versus Denver. That is a huge game. Again, you're playing the elite of the elitists in the AFC on primetime. Okay, you got New England early in the season. Now you're going to have to face the Denver Broncos. That is a huge game, and that's late in the season. That's playoff implications. That's a measuring stick. That's a psychological edge going into the postseason. You don't know if you'll have to see those guys again if you make it. And so that's a huge game that you have to find a way to be not only competitive in, but win it. You're at home. It's Monday night. The jungle will be rocking. Gotta get it done. I mean, that is set up for you to really give yourself some momentum and some much needed confidence heading into the postseason, if in fact you're going back to the postseason for the 3rd or 4th consecutive year. You move on to divisional games, and you start with the Baltimore Ravens. Week 8, you're at home with this Ravens football team, and so you got to find a way to win in the division. I've talked about this with you already. Got to win inside this division. If you're going to repeat as AFC North champions, then it is imperative that you win divisional games. And the ones at home, you got to be able to put those away in your pocket and count those as givens. You got to win within the division at home. If you can't win at home in a division, you're going to find yourself on the short end of the stick when it's all said and done. You look at week 1, you're at Baltimore right out of the gate. The schedule makers are trying to find out, are you for real? Okay, so you lose a little bit of your coaching staff. No Mike Zimmer, no Jay Gruden. You lose half of your staff right there. Are you the same Cincinnati Bengals? We're going to find out in week 1. Right out of the gate, you got to go to Baltimore and try to get it done. I am going to be anxious to see how you look as a football team without your offensive and defensive coordinators over the last 3 or 4 years. So that's a huge game right out of the gate. You look at Cleveland. Week number 10, you're at home for the Cleveland Browns. Talked about that game already as a Thursday nighter on prime time. Got to take care of the Browns at home if you are the Cincinnati Bengals. You look at week 15, you are at Cleveland late in the season. Got to find a way to get it done on the road against Cleveland. They've had your number in Cleveland over the last couple of years. You've struggled mightily with the Browns in Cleveland. It's time for you to shake that off and get a W in Cleveland. You've struggled with the Browns in Cleveland. You got to find a way to get it done late in the season. It's going to be a big game with playoff implications. Got to find a way to get that one done. Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 14, you're at home. That's going to be a big game. It always is a big game when you're playing either Baltimore or Pittsburgh. And not to say that Cleveland isn't important, but they're never in the postseason race like the Ravens and the Steelers are. This is going to be a huge game, and it's late in the season. Week 14, you're at home. Gotta have it. You got to have it. So you move on to week 17. It's a road game against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. That is going to be tough. They slaughtered you last season on Sunday Night Football, late in the season in Pittsburgh. You struggle in Pittsburgh, no doubt about it. You got to find a way to go to Pittsburgh, to Heinz Field, and come out with a win week 17. That could be for the division. I mean, we don't really know, but that could be for the division. Most likely that game is going to have playoff implications. You can almost be certain of that. You got to have some kind of mental toughness, some kind of resolve to go in there and get one. That's going to be a tough one. That is definitely must-see TV there. You look at anomalies for this Cincinnati Bengals team, and they've got plenty of them. You look at their schedule, and it is just chocked full of anomalies. Anomalies are stretches of football that kind of stand out on the schedule, whether it's 3 out of 4 at home or away, 4 out of 5 at home or away, 4 straight on the road or at home, 3 straight on the road or at home. Even a game in London counts as an anomaly as well. You look at this slate, and you start with the home anomaly. 4 out of 5 in weeks 6 through 10 for this Cincinnati Bengals team. That includes 3 straight home games, weeks 8 through 10. So you're talking about a stretch of football in the middle portion of the season, the early to the mid portion of the season, that's going to give you an opportunity to play at home, stockpile some wins. Not saying that the opponents are going to be easy, but you're at home. You are expected in this league to win games at home. If you can't protect your house, then you're not going to make the postseason most likely. And so 4 out of 5 with 3 consecutive in weeks 6 through 10. You got to take advantage of it if you are the Cincinnati Bengals. It's that simple. You move on to your away anomaly, and it's exactly identical to the anomaly that you just had at home. 4 out of 5 on the road, weeks 11 through 15, includes 3 straight road games, weeks 11 to 13. So essentially, it's the mirror of what you just had at home, and it's right after that anomaly. So you're talking weeks 6 through 10, you're at home for 4 out of 5. And then right after that, weeks 11 through 15, you're on the road 4 out of 5. So, I mean, the schedule maker said, hey, here, take some home games, now give them right back. So now you got to go on the road. And this is at the late portion of the season. So we're talking mid to late portion. You got to go on the road and show the mental toughness of an AFC North champion and get some wins and try to secure another AFC North division title berth. So you look at your bye week. It's early, and it really doesn't do you any favors. It's the worst bye you can have. It's week 4, okay? There's nothing you can do about it. No need in crying over spilt milk. Hey, the schedule makers just handed you a lemon. Make some damn good lemonade, all right? And so now you move on to mark your calendar games. And for me, week 1 at Baltimore, right out of the gate, they're trying you. They're testing you. They want to see who you are. And so you got to show them that, hey, we're the AFC champions from the North. In 2013, we're not a different team because we don't have Mike Zimmer, because we don't have Jay Gruden anymore. We're the same OBs. And you're going to have to go in to Baltimore and prove it week 1. And then week 17, you're at Pittsburgh. That could be for the division. That could be for a playoff berth. That could be for a lot of different things. You don't know what that game is going to mean, but it's going to be tough either way. Look, you start the season with a bully, you end the season with a bully. Your job is to show them that you're no longer the little punk that they could come around and make you give up your lunch money. You got to show these boys that, hey, I'm a bully just like you are, okay? I run a block just like you run a block. And if you are the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to go out and you got to show the Ravens in week 1, I'm not scared. And in week 17, you got to say the same thing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not scared. And so those to me are MYC's mark your calendar games for the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's going to do it for the Cincinnati Bengals in 5 minutes or less. Like the content? Want more? Sub up.
In the lab